Sure. So first of all, I've got a lot to say on this. Like this is the topic where I think that in some cases there is a major emphasis on, say, recovery and balance in the industry at times. And I'm a guy who just thinks that balance is what you make of it. Our definition of balance is different from one another, and how we want to balance our efforts is dependent upon what we currently want to prioritize. So, like, if I'm balancing work and life, or if I'm balancing training and life, or if I'm balancing whatever it is, how I allocate that balance is up to me and not you. So when someone says something like, "Hey man, you need some balance. Maybe you should play some video games. Hey man, you need some balance. Maybe you should have some fast food." It's like that's your version of balance. Why are you afflicting your version of balance upon me? I've never understood that at all. Balance is what you make of it, and we're gonna have different versions of balance as we go through life. You're gonna have a balance in college. You're gonna have a balance in high school. You're gonna have a different balance when you're a dad. You're gonna have a different balance when you're a businessman. And then at sometimes that balance, if it's a pie chart, it is just going to naturally grow and sink in different other areas of your life, but still equal 100% each and every single time. But then that pie chart of the allocation of effort will still only zap your energy reserves and fatigue to the degree that you allow it to. So if I
Mhm.
enjoy the hell out of my job, is 12 hours of work really that fatiguing to me? To compare it to somebody who hates their job and works for 12 hours, it's not. It's completely different. And you can even look into the research on this. Almost all of the fatigue that we receive from events is mental. It is. It's like when you talk to your grandpa for 15 minutes and it feels like it was 15 hours. Sometimes you have those situations where mentally you're like, you're gone. It's like, oh my God. But then you could talk to someone else for 15 minutes and it actually energizes you. It
Yeah.
doesn't take anything away from you. It's 100% mental. The same thing happened for 15 minutes, but it's both 100% mental. So there is a point of A, balance is what you make of it. And then B, I think that it is a major thing to be grateful for, that we have the opportunity to set goals. So when somebody says like, "Hey man, how do you keep up with this? How do you even do this?" Like, man, you don't realize how lucky it is that I get to set a fat loss goal, that I
Mm.
get to set a business goal, that I get to, like, I this is something I get to do. I don't have to do any of this shit. So if you decide to wear the hat to do the shit that you're talking about, then you need to wear the hat to do the shit that you're talking about. And what I mean by that is, if I want to wear the hat of somebody who is going to get maximally lean, then I better do the things of somebody who does things to become maximally lean. If I want to
Mm.
wear the hat of being an entrepreneur, then I better exude the routines and habits and rituals of that of an entrepreneur and the work ethic of that. If I want to wear the hat of being a great dad, well, then I still better be a great dad on top of doing the other things. If you want to wear the hat in these different categories of life, then you simply have to execute those things, or else you're somebody who kind of just talks shit and doesn't execute what you say you're going to do. And that's the fastest way to lose integrity on your brand. Somebody who says things that they don't do is like one of the most unattractive, hypocritical things that you'll ever come across. And I just never want to be that guy. So, in that lens, if I'm going to wear the hat of these things and I have announced to the world, but more importantly, I have announced to myself that I'm going to execute those things, then I have to execute them. And sometimes you have to embody the mentality of, I don't really give a shit how I feel today, because I'm going to go execute those things.